Break Ranks is presented in association with Bands of America's Sun Safety partner, Outrun the Sun. This is the podcast helping to create, provide, and expand
winners in life.
Positively life-changing experiences through music for all.
Go for it!
This is the podcast that encourages everyone to
Break Ranks!
This time on Break Ranks, everything's coming up roses.
You can hear them in the recording erupt when it spread to all of them. So it was a really exciting moment for sure.
Tennessee's Franklin High School gets ready for the world stage New Year's Day in Pasadena.
Now, it's nerve-wracking. It's one moment caught on TV and will live online forever.
They're enjoying the sweet, rosy smell of success.
It was such a blessing to be chosen, not just by the Tournament of Roses committee, but also by the Music for All Bands of America committee.
So you got picked twice. That is so cool. While remembering that every rose has its thorns. What right now is your estimated total cost for making this trip?
We're just shy of $1 million.
How do you raise that kind of money in 14 months? By using the greatest resource available to any band.
There's nothing in the world like band parents.
Growing Roses with Franklin High School. This time on Break Ranks. But before we get to any of that, let's run down the results of Week 3 of the Bands of America 2025 Regional Championships, starting in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
In first place, with a score of 85.4, the 2025 Bands of America Chattanooga Regional Champion, the Lambert High School Marching Band from Suwanee, Georgia.
Alex Quintero on the mic as the Lambert Marching Band of Suwanee, Georgia took only the visual caption in finals, but it was enough to overcome music and general effect caption wins by North High School of Indiana. North was second in Chattanooga, behind Lambert, with Georgia's Harrison High School in third. The class champions in Chattanooga are Tennessee's Signal Mountain High School in 1A. North took the 2A crown, Harrison 3A, and Lambert 4A. Next up, we welcome a new pony to the stable of Bands of America announcers, Alex Liddell. Alex's other announcing gig is as the voice of the Commandant's Own, the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. And Alex did his first BOA Regional this past Saturday at Northwest High School Stadium in Des Moines, Iowa.
In first place with a score of 82.6, the 2025 Bands of America Iowa Regional Champion, the Rosemount High School Marching Band from Rosemount, Minnesota.
Minnesota powerhouse Rosemount High School sweeping all three captions on its way to the win over second place Millard West of Nebraska and third place Grain Valley High School of Missouri. In prelims, Normal High School of Illinois was the Class 4A champion. Rosemount takes the 3A medallions. Nebraska's Bellevue West is the 2A champ, and Pella High School from Iowa was tops in 1A. From Iowa, we go to Iowa Colony, which is nowhere near the Hawkeye State. Instead, Iowa Colony is a southern suburb of Houston, where Nick Costello was on the mic at the Alvin Independent School District's Freedom Field.
And in first place, with a score of 85.225, the 2025 Bands of America South Houston Regional Champion, the Pearland High School Marching Band from Pearland, Texas.
It was almost a home show for the Pride of Pearland, which is just a few miles up the road from Alvin, and they did not disappoint their fans, taking highest achievement in both visual and general effect to finish just more than 7/10 ahead of Seven Lakes High School, which took the music caption. San Antonio's Claudia Taylor Johnson High School was third in South Houston. The class champs were Wharton of Texas in 1A, Gene Tomas of Texas winning their second class championship in 2 weeks in 2A. Texas Foster High School was tops in 3A and Pearland in 4A. I had the honor of returning to my old stomping grounds, Bedford, Texas, to announce the Dallas Mid-Cities Regional. And in first place with a score of 87.20, the 2025 Bands of America Dallas-Fort Worth Mid-Cities Regional Champion, the Flower Mound High School Marching Band from Flower Mound, Texas. Texas Flower Mound High School prevailed in a close contest with second-place Hebron High School. Flower Mound won all three captions on their way to gold. Capel High School was third in finals. Flower Mound also won the 4A medallions and prelims. Texas Wakeland High School was 3A champ. And my fellow Okies, the Collinsville Crimson Cadets from just outside Tulsa, went home from Texas as the Class 2A champs. And finally, we go all the way to Coastal Carolina for our last of 5 regionals from this past weekend. And the guy on the mic for us at finals, maybe the most famous personality in all of the marching arts, DCI's Hall of Fame broadcaster, Steve Rondinero.
In first place with a score of 85.65. 85.65. The 2025 Bands of America Carolina Regional Champion, the Wando High School Marching Band from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
And it was a dominant win for Wando High School as they took all 3 captions, building a spread of 4 points plus over second place Catawba Ridge High School of South Carolina. South Carolina's River Bluff High School took bronze in finals. In prelims, it was Wando in 4A, South Carolina's River Bluff High School in 3A, Catawba Ridge taking 2A medallions, and the 1A winner was Cheraw High School, also from South Carolina. Everything's coming up roses in this edition of Break Ranks because we're going to talk about the process of how a BOA Grand Nationals band ends up in the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade. And we're going to do it with Franklin High School of Tennessee Director Michael Holland and Assistant Director Nick Blue. Hi, guys.
Hey, Dan.
Nick, how you doing?
Very well. Thank you for having us on today.
This is really exciting, not just for you guys, but I think for everybody listening, because we may have wondered, how are those bands at Grand Nationals picked for the Tournament of Roses Parade? And we're going to go through the whole process and talk honestly about what it takes to get a band the size of Franklin. What, 200, 250 members? Michael, how big's your band?
Yeah, we're taking about 220 plus to Pasadena.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, we'll get into the logistics, the cost, and all of that. But first, let's get to the selection process, because I think a lot of people who've been to Grand Nationals know that one of those bands, not necessarily a finalist band, but one of the bands at Grand Nationals ends up being chosen by the selection committee of the Tournament of Roses Parade to be a participant, not in that coming New Year's parade, but in one a year later, basically 14 months from the time of Grand Nationals. Do the schools who want to go to the Rose Parade let the Rose Committee know in advance? Or how do you avoid picking a school where the director says, sorry, guys, we just can't logistically or financially afford to do this right now?
There's a question that you can check when you apply to participate in Grand Nationals that asks, would you be interested in participating in the Tournament of Roses Parade? And we checked that box. We did apply to be a part of the parade, and it was such a blessing to be chosen, not just by the Tournament of Roses Committee, but also by the Music for All Bands of America Committee.
So you got picked twice. That is so cool. And from what I understand, it's significant also because this is the 30th anniversary of the first time the Franklin Band participated in the Rose Parade in 1996, or it will be.
Yeah, we're so excited. It's a historic landmark in the program's history, the 1996 appearance. And it's been a goal of our program for over a decade to return. And I mean, it just like the stars aligned for us to get to celebrate it in the 30-year mark.
It certainly did. Okay, you checked that box on your Grand Nationals application. You went to Grand Nationals last year in 2024. You qualified as a semifinalist at Grand Nationals. What happened then? When did you learn that you would be going to the Rose Parade?
We learned in the middle of the finals competition. I believe Avon was about to go on, and I got a call from Laura Blake asking, hey, you selected this box. Would you do it? And of course, our answer was absolutely yes.
So you found out that night at finals, in fact, at the very end of finals, that you were the chosen band.
Yes. We missed their finals performance, which we were a little bummed about, but I mean, how excited. What a great reason to miss such an incredible show.
So Nick, were you right there with Michael when he found out?
Yeah, we were right there in Lucas Oil watching the finals. Avon was about to go on and his phone rang and he said, oh gosh, Laura Blake is calling me. And we were like, what's up? We didn't really know what to expect. And he picks up the phone and leaves. And I'm like, okay, well. And so then he comes back and is motioning to me like, hey, come here, come out here. He gets off the phone and he looks at me and he says, we're going to the Tournament of Roses Parade. And I was like, what? And like we're standing there out in the atrium or whatever you want to call it. It was so unexpected and it was so exciting because we did apply and it was so exciting for us to be chosen in that way. And I was like, okay, well, what's about to happen? What are we going to do? And we kind of had to spring into action and get our drum majors down to the field level for the official announcement. And that was exciting too, because we didn't tell anyone in our band community. We texted our chaperones and said, hey, we need to see the drum majors. We took them down to the field. I think they thought they were in trouble.
Did you tell the drum majors why they were going down to the field?
No, we didn't tell them a thing.
Oh, wow.
Didn't tell anybody. So we went down and, we walk out onto the field and the kids are like, what is going on? And the moment that it was announced, I don't think they really understood it right away. But eventually, they're all so excited to go. It's really been a blessing how that process worked out.
I hear a snare drummer practicing in your band hall right now. That's awesome. Michael, was the band sitting up in the stands for finals? And did you see their reaction when it was announced? What did they do?
Yes. The band was up in the stands in the upper level watching the finalist bands perform. And whenever they announced Franklin High School, they were like, wait, that's us. Like, what's going on? And then they all started figuring out. They saw the presentation, the roses, the flag, and all of the things on the field. And you can hear them in the recording erupt when it spread to all of them. So it was a really exciting moment for sure.
Well, then the reality of making that trip had to set in pretty quickly, I would imagine, Michael, and the fundraising and the logistics and all of that. Was that what you were thinking about on the way home back to Franklin?
Yeah, almost immediately. A lot of our friends had already started congratulating us and they were like, start planning now. And boy, were they right. We've sprung into action. Our first step was getting approval through our district. One of the things that we received feedback on was including some of our alumni, potentially inviting some of our middle school students to join us. And so we started the process of doing that and got approval. Tremendous support from our central office and our administrative team, from our high school, but also from our middle school programs. That took a while. And then there were lots of logistical things we had to iron out as well. What does that process look like? What are the procedures that are going to be in place for those students? What does traveling with that many students across the nation feel like for us, for a band in Tennessee? And just what is the scope of what this endeavor is going to be for us?
Okay, let's unpack that just a little bit. What right now is your estimated total cost for making this trip?
We're just shy of $1 million. If we covered the full cost for every child, on top of all of the transportation of equipment, the purchase of equipment, the purchase of some additional uniforms, music, the various things that go into that, really just to get the program from Franklin out there and back, and then do the events that we're doing. If we were to cover every penny, it would be just shy of $1 million.
Wow. Are you taking buses or you're flying?
We're flying. We'll fly out from Nashville and then we'll have charter buses there and, move us around. I think it's going to take 5. We're packed to the gills and 5 charter buses there. It's going to be such an exciting trip. That's something I didn't really know about the Tournament of Roses, is all the activities that go on throughout the week leading up to the event. Our band has the opportunity, obviously, to participate in the parade, but the Tournament of Roses committee puts on an event called Band Fest.
Right.
And so we get to perform our marching band show as part of that event and be featured with the other marching bands that are participating in the parade this year. We get to go and do a parade in Disneyland and spend the rest of our day in Disneyland, which is exciting. There's another performance that we get to do with Bands of America that we're excited to be a part of. And then some various just sightseeing things that the kids get to do while they're over in California.
Just how do you raise $1 million in only a few months? And we'll get into that with Michael Holland and Nick Blue from Franklin High School after we check with Bands of America's Sun safety partner, Outrun the Sun. Dermatologist Dr. Christy Waterman says you have several tools you can use to protect your skin from the sun's ultraviolet rays, including the clothes you wear. However,
a common misconception is that a lightweight white cotton shirt offers the best, most comfortable sun protection. But in reality, white cotton fabric has a UPF or ultraviolet protection factor of only 7, which is very low. When wet, the UPF decreases to about 3. So Fabrics that have a tighter weave made of a denser material offers higher protection. So if you think of something like tightly woven denim, that has a much higher UPF factor as opposed to the lightweight fabrics. Now, there are many lightweight fabrics with breathable options that would be great options for band members. Those are available in most activewear sections at the store.
Next time, which works better, sunscreen sprays or lotions? Our thanks to Outrun the Sun for being Bands of America's sun safety partner. So how do you begin to tackle that $1 million expenditure? And who do you think has been your biggest contributor or maybe the biggest surprise that you've had while trying to fundraise for this?
That's a great question.
We'll listen to the cadence in the meantime.
Yeah, right. I think our biggest contributors are, of course, our parents. Our parents have a huge portion in the game of providing the funding to go. And that's the parents from the students that are participating, but also we refer to it as our band family. Past band family members and alumni that have contributed, just scholarshiping students, whether it be full or partial. Our community has really risen up to support us. We've also had some great corporate sponsors that have helped us out annually, and they have stepped up in some big ways as well to help us go on the trip this year. Our fundraising team, just what a shout out. There's nothing in the world like band parents, and they have worked tirelessly to help us by coming up with some incredibly creative ideas. We did a Yeti fundraiser. Every year we do a car wash, and we were able, enforcement last year, to contribute the proceeds from our car wash toward this effort. We had a singer-songwriter event with the silent auction as part of that. And we had some great contributions toward that and auctioned off some autographed guitars and some various things. When Franklin went back in 1996, we did an annual fruit sale, and we were the citrus national champion of fruit sales back here.
Are you doing that again this year?
The plaque hangs in my office.
Yeah. They gave us the plaque. And so we're bringing it back. We're calling it the throwback fruit sale.
Nice.
And my understanding is in 96, the fruit sale fully funded the trip. And so we're offering that back to our community and really excited about the support that we've had from that. Also, just a lot of media have reached out to us locally and statewide to help us get the word out and to share our story, but also to let people know how they can help support us. And that has just been so tremendous to have people in our community giving back. We do a flag fundraising program. We actually received the Advocacy and Action Award for it last year. And one of the parts of that program is every Veterans Day game, we set up some American flags outside the Tennessee Titans Stadium. And we reached out to them through some contacts we had, and we are now performing at halftime on November 23rd. And going to get the word out and let them know that we're representing our state in the international parade of the Tournament of Roses. So it's been a blessing and just filled with opportunities. But again, lots of hard work on the backs of some incredible parents, and our students have been working so hard knowing that they're representing our school, our city, our state on this stage.
Nick, how do you go about picking what you're going to play at the Tournament of Roses parade? With millions of people worldwide watching, tell me about the process of selecting the program for your parade appearance.
I think that when we were initially discussing this, we were throwing out all kinds of ideas. We wanted to be relatable, right, to a mass audience, people all around the world. But I think that we also wanted to kind of pay tribute to our roots in the local community, both in Franklin and in the wider community of the state of Tennessee. So after some discussion, we landed on two tunes that we're going to kind of alternate between throughout the parade. One of them is the Washington Post March by John Philip Sousa, a more traditional vibe, obviously, but that was the tune that the band played in 1996 in their last appearance.
Wow.
History is one of our core values that we build our program on. And so we thought that would be a great way to kind of honor the work of the people that came before us and marched in this parade 30 years ago. So we're going to be doing Washington Post, but we're also going to be playing 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton, who is one of Tennessee's, biggest names, biggest stars in music, one of the biggest names in music, I would say. And a few years ago, we did a show called Rags to Rhinestones, and it told the story of Dolly Parton growing up in her rural East Tennessee community and the journey that she went on to get from there to really the Grand Ole Opry stage.
Oh.
And as part of that show, one of our movements was 9 to 5. So we're taking that music, kind of reworking it so it'll be more appropriate for the parade.
Did she ever see that show or know of it? Do you know?
She did know about it. I don't know if she ever saw it, but she gave us a shout out. She did a little video for us saying, "Hey, Franklin High School, this is so awesome." And like, how cool to show that to our kids and to our community. Like,
wow.
It's one thing for us to say there's a lot of people behind you and a lot of people who support you, but it's very different for us to say, hey, Dolly Parton has something to say to you all about what you're doing, playing her music. So that was super special.
Which one of you two is more the visual guy?
Oh, that's certainly Michael.
Okay, Michael. How worried are you about that notorious turn onto Colorado Boulevard that's like more than a 90-degree turn and the people on the outside are flying? Are you worried about that at all? That's the most exposed part of the whole parade.
It is the most exposed part of the whole parade. I would say excited. I'm excited about it. I've watched this parade growing up for decades, and that's one of the parts. Anytime when I was in middle school band and we marched through the parade, I knew what they were talking about because I watched this parade before. And they showcased the band doing a turn. And I was like, how do they keep their lines straight? So I'm excited to get to join in that part of history. Now, it's nerve-wracking. It's one moment caught on TV and will live online forever. So we're going to work very hard to represent well. And hopefully looking back and listening back to this, we'll remember this moment fondly and say, yeah, you nailed it.
Nailed it.
We're excited to do it. It is one of the most iconic things, I think, in marching band. And even, friends and family watching the turn, they're like, oh, that's a cool way to do it. Or, wow, this band's doing it really well. And would love to be one of those bands that random viewers are watching and saying, that looks great. So, yeah, we're excited.
I had the privilege almost 4 years ago now of going with the Bands of America Honor Band to the Rose Parade. And I don't have any advice to offer you, but I will tell you something that I think you'll find surprising. Because we think of this parade as this huge global event. And that corner there, as you come onto Colorado Boulevard, is packed with grandstands and network cameras. And it feels like a big global event. But then you get past that. And it's 5 miles, I think, or 5.5 miles long, the parade?
They've told us that it really turns into about 7.5 once you're done.
Oh, wow. When you get past that huge turn and all of those crowds, what you're going to find out is this is very much a hometown neighborhood parade. And you're going to be going down streets where it's nothing but houses on each side. And you're right in the middle of a neighborhood. And I was struck by that because I just figured it would be, Main Street, Pasadena, big buildings, but no, it's a very intimate, like parts of that parade. You're right up against people's houses.
So part of the experience for us, we found out in November 14th or so, somewhere around there this past November. And we had to turn around a little over a month later and travel out. We did it the year before you march in the parade. And that was the thing that struck me was, one, how long this bus ride was. And we were on a bus driving the parade route. But exactly what you said. I mean, there's rural houses and, and churches, and you really kind of move from that downtown feel into a more neighborhood feel. And
a lot of those people will put up fences around their yards and will have parties going on in their yard with controlled access. I don't know if they charge people to come onto their property and watch the parade. I suspect some of them probably do. But I think it's more like family reunions and, New Year's Day parties that are going on. And I was really struck by what a community event it actually is in Pasadena.
Well, and I mean, what a tradition for them, and that's one of our core values as well, is community and history. I mean, our motto is all traditions, new beginnings. And to be able to join in that, I tell my band director friends and they kind of laugh at me and some of them say I'm crazy. Like, we do 4 parades a year. Our school has a homecoming parade. We march in our city's Veterans Day parade. Our city does a Christmas parade. And then we also do a rodeo parade. The Franklin Rodeo is a huge event that our Rotary Club puts on. They actually started the Franklin Rodeo to buy the Franklin Band's first marching band uniforms. And so we've participated in it since it began. And when I tell my band director friends we march in 4 parades a year, they kind of give me a look and then laugh. But we are so excited to get to be a part of that. And downtown Franklin if you're ever in the Tennessee, Nashville area, come check out downtown Franklin. There's nothing like it. It's incredible.
I got to announce the DCI show at Titan Stadium this past summer. I'll make a point of doing that next summer if I'm in town. That'll be great. Michael and Nick, congratulations. Please pass on Break Ranks congratulations to the rest of the Franklin band community, the members as well as the parents, and good luck. We'll be so proud to watch you guys on New Year's Day.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having us on today.
And tell that marimba student, pick up their left hand a little bit.
Will do. Oh, that's amazing.
Band director Michael Holland and assistant band director Nick Blue from Franklin High School in Franklin, Tennessee, headed to the Rose Parade this holiday season. I cannot wait to see them make that turn onto Colorado Boulevard. There are Bands of America regionals in Memphis, Tennessee, as well as Midland and Prosper, Texas this weekend. We'll break down the results and be joined by another special guest next week. Until then, Break Ranks is presented in association with Outrun the Sun, Music for All's Sun Safety Partner. I'm Dan Potter. Go for it. Break Ranks.